for a new type of video on the channel today. This is going to be a list of my absolute must-have mods in order to play The Sims 4. And when I say like absolute must-have, these mods that I'm going to talk about in this video are literally the mods that like I won't even open my game without. Like when there's an update that comes that breaks all the mods and everybody freaks out, I disable updates on my game until these particular mods are updated. And so we are going to break down these mods into a few different categories. I'll go through the categories first, and then we'll kind of go through what mods fall under that category. Just as a disclaimer, some of these mods are going to require that you have more than a few packs for compatibility purposes. Some of them are base game. I am not going to go into great detail for each mod regarding if it's base game compatible or not. Just know that for these mods, you might want to read through them and make sure that they are compatible with whatever game packs and expansion packs that you have. I think that pretty much sums it up. Oh, this is also not a complete list of all of the mods that I have in my game. I mean, my mods folder is upwards of like almost 250 gigabytes worth of mods in CC. I would not be able to sit here and have an entire video on every single mod that I have in my game. Unless you guys wanted that and wanted to sit here for a while, we could totally do that. So these are just going to be like the absolute most important ones. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. This is Nia. She's one of the Sims that I had made for a potential LP on the YouTube channel that I just never actually started. And this is her boyfriend, Vance. Nia and Vance are like high school sweethearts, and they're just kind of trying to figure out life. And so they're living together in this cute little trailer that I personally did not build. It was part of the Simply Global save file, I believe, which I can leave a link for that one down below as well. So they're going to be kind of our two Sims that we're going to play with today to showcase the mods. Starting off, we are going to do like my absolute quality of life mods. So these are the mods that like they make actually playing the game easier. So in this particular category, I am going to start off first with MC Command Center. MC Command Center is like one of the most sought out, talked about mods in the simming community, and that's because you can do so many things with MC Command Center. So if I just click on Vance and go into the MC Command Center section, you can see it gives me all of the information on Vance, such as how old he is, if he has a spouse, like if him and Nia were married, her name would be here. If they had any current children, they would be listed here. And this lets you know where a Sim lives. So say for instance, I wanted to click on this random Sim who is actually standing in our bedroom. I have no idea why she's here. If I were to click on her and click MC Command Center, it would tell me that Lily Herrick is a young adult who has lived 6 of her young adult days out of 28. She does not have a spouse, she does not have children, and she lives at 8200 Palm Court here in Oasis Springs. So just by clicking on her and going to MC Command Center, I can find out all this information about her. It would be the same way if she was a random Sim just walking around. So this is nice if, you know, you see some really cute Sim that's walking around and you're like, oh man, I didn't get a chance to like socialize with this Sim, and they're walking away or something, but you maybe want to know something about them, like if they're married or if they have kids or where they live. You could just click on them and go to MC Command Center and find that information. It's also really nice because if I wanted to change her or any of the Sims that are in her household, I could click on this button here and it would take me into cast and allow me to change their outfits. Now, doing it this way, it won't allow me to change things such as like her skin complexion or add skin details or take skin details away. It's more so like if you took them shopping at like a clothing store and wanted to just spruce them up. So say I saw her and I liked the way she looked, but I hated her clothing. I could do modify household and cast and edit all of her outfits. Sim commands, there's a few different things in here. Again, we can modify her in cast. We can modify her career outfit if we don't like it. Same for our particular Sims. We could set her age. So if we wanted her to actually be like, oh, I don't know, an adult Sim, we could change her to an adult Sim. If we wanted to completely eliminate her or change some other things about her, we could do that here. There's a lot of different things that you can do within that section. For MC Cast, you could also go in and manage her traits and different things like that. Select favorite umbrella. I didn't even know that was in here. That's crazy. We could change her voice, walk style, all of that stuff. MC Cheats is also a really good one because I personally in my LPs have so many issues with people randomly walking into my house. And I had an amazing viewer who left a comment one time like, hey, you know, if you don't want them in your house, you could just go to MC Command Center and make them leave. And ever since, I use this every single time I have someone in my presence that I don't want there. That includes ghosts, by the way, because my most recent LP, we had a ghost issue at our apartment. And every time the ghost appeared, I just clicked on this and told them to leave. And when you select this, they actually leave immediately. This guy and Lily are both leaving right now because I came into MC Command Center and told them to leave before I started recording. You can also switch to them and play them if you wanted to. You can make them happy or reset them if they're stuck. There's a lot of other ones down here. I won't take time to go through all of them. Just know that with MC Command Center, you can do so many. MC Dresser, if I wanted to change her, maybe I wanted her to be my friend and we're going to a formal dinner or something and I wanted her to wear her formal outfit, I could go ahead and change her right here and boom, you see now all of a sudden she is wearing her formal outfit and it took all of 2 seconds to get her to put it on. This is great if you're like having a wedding or something like that and maybe some Sims showed up in an outfit that you didn't want them to show up in. You could just go into MC Command Center and change their outfit. So that's really cool. You can also come in here and check out pregnancy information. So if she was pregnant, the information for her pregnancy would be here. But also if you wanted to just cheat and start a pregnancy, you could do that as well. So that's pretty much the main stuff that I'm going to talk about with MC Command Center at this particular time. The second like quality of life mod that I want to go over is UI cheats. UI cheats is what makes it so that if my Sims are trying to do something currently and their needs are really low, and I'm like, oh my gosh, no, you're gonna pee on yourself, not right now. I can just click and take her bladder all the way up instead of having to delegate her tasks and tell her to go in here and pee like a champion and then go in here and eat your food. Like I can literally just tap and it will move her bar to wherever I tap it to. That is especially useful if you're a storyteller and you need your Sims to be, you know, super good in order for you to capture the right images and things like that, and they're always trying to walk around and do other things. It's nice to be able to cheat the UI like that so that you can make them behave the way you want them to, basically. This is also good if they have a moodlet that you don't want them to have. Like she's talking about the fact that she's memorizing a new milestone. I don't care about that. I'm going to get rid of it by right clicking directly on the moodlet. That's especially useful if, for instance, you're trying to tell a story and you need your Sim to be very confident, but she is sad because she just broke up with her boyfriend or whatever. If there's a moodlet down here that is impacting her score to make it so that the sad moodlet is outweighing the confident moodlet that you need her to have, you could just right click on whatever the moodlet is, and just like that she would be able to change to whatever what's the word I'm looking for here? Whatever mood, I guess, you want her to be in. So that's really, really useful. You can do other things with it as well, such as right click to change the season that you want it to be. Right now we're in the fall time. Maybe I want it to be snowing, so I want to change it to winter. By right clicking right down here, I can change it directly to winter and boom, we're good. So you can do the UI cheats for their skills as well. You can obviously take the time to do Control-Shift-C and type in the cheats that you need in order to advance their skills if you want. But with UI cheats, it's a lot easier to just come down here to whatever skill it is that they have, right click, and then set it to whatever level you want it to be. So just like that, I was able to go ahead and set her singing level to 4. I can do the same thing for mixology, etc., etc. So UI cheats just makes it so that you can literally cheat everything in the UI. The next one, oh yeah, control any sim. I like control any sim for storytelling purposes. If I need to tell a story with a particular sim and I'm trying to do it without controlling them, but they don't want to sit down, they want to go home, they want to cook when I need them to sit on the chair or anything like that, I can just click on the sim, navigate to the option that says Control Sim under the Actions tab. Once you press on Control Sim, that person then becomes a member of your household, and you literally have full control over them as if they live with you. I can make whoever this person is go in here and cook me some food. I can make them do whatever. Now it is like I'm fully controlling them. It's like they're a part of my household. If I want to get rid of that, and I don't slam my fridge, hello. If I want to be done with that, I can go back into Actions tab and select Don't Control Sim. And that will remove them from my family down here. And now they're just like a regular NPC all over again. The next one that we're going to talk about is one that I found out about recently, and I don't know how I ever played without it. This one is super good because it allows you to remove Sims from your conversations. It is so annoying when you are trying to do something in your game that's romantic with your spouse or talk with your friend group, and some random person just decides to join the conversation. And normally you would have to just like exit out of the chat option down here or whatever, and then go on about your way with trying to have an individual conversation with the person you want to talk to. With this particular mod, you get to just hover up here where the person is, wherever their picture is, and you can select them to remove them from the conversation. I'm gonna see about adding somebody to the conversation here. Okay, so now you can see that Nia is talking to both of these Sims. This is Ayan, I'm not sure, and Garrett. So say for instance, Ayan just randomly joined into the conversation, and on second thought, who was trying to flirt with him? Leap? Wait, girl, first of all, you have a man. What are you doing? What are you doing? Hello? If I no longer wanted to talk to Ayan or have him part of the conversation, I could just go up here and right click on his picture and boom. Now Ayan is no longer a part of our conversation, and it's just back to me and Garrett talking. Again, this is useful if you are trying to tell a story, you are trying to, role play and talk amongst 2 Sims or even 3 Sims or whatever, and then all of a sudden random strangers decide that they want to join your conversation. Wow. I cannot believe she just jumped into Garrett's freaking arms. Vance is gonna come and beat his in a minute. Seriously, what the heck is she doing? Like, girl, not my game being messy, and I'm not even doing a gameplay thing right now. And that gave her the romance skill. Y'all, okay, just side note, I was here messing with Wicked Whims setting for a future video, and she just got done woohooing with her man, but she didn't get no romance skill. She jumped into Garrett's. Oh, look at their romance bar. Nia, go in the house. I swear to goodness. I'm even when you're randomly just trying to do a mod video, the Sims don't want to cooperate. Like, you've got to be kidding me. I can't believe she got the level 1 romance skill, but okay. Back to what we were saying. Yes, the remove sim from conversation mod is really, really nice in that aspect, because you can literally take full control over your conversations that you're trying to have your Sims have without exiting out of interactions down here and having to queue them up all over again. Literally, all you have to do is right click on the Sims image up at the top and they're gone from the conversation. The next one is one that I prefer to have in my game for quality of life, and that is just the smaller Mosaic mod. I like this because the normal Mosaic is so big it's almost obnoxious. So we're not going to kick a soccer ball with her right now, but we'll have Vance go and take a speedy shower. And this mod literally just does what you think it does. You see how small the Mosaic is? I guess I maybe shouldn't have put this in a quality of life, because like I could play the game without it, but again, for like storytelling purposes and things like that, if I'm trying to zoom in and take a screenshot of them maybe like in the shower together or something like that, the normal Mosaic is so big that it would have pixels up like near their necks, and it would make it really hard to be able to capture the pictures that I would want to capture for my storytelling. But with the smaller Mosaic, it takes up a much smaller field of view. So now if I wanted to zoom in on him in the shower, I can give the illusion obviously of him being naked, because well he is, without having pixels all up under his chin. Does that make sense? So for storytelling purposes and just overall realism and the look of it, the smaller Mosaic mod is really nice because it allows you to be able to have a bigger field of view anytime your sim is doing something that involves them removing their clothing. The next one is going to be the Missing Plumbob mod by Mint Valentine. I, again, like this mod for quality of life because as somebody who likes to take a ton of screenshots while I play the game, having the Plumbob up above their heads all the time is annoying. Like Nia standing here right now, she would have that big old Plumbob right above her head, and I would have to zoom in so close in order to take a picture. And maybe I wanted the picture to be back here so I could have a full body picture. I wouldn't be able to do that if she had the Plumbob above her head. So having the Missing Plumbob mod in game just makes it so that I could take far pictures, like Vance being all the way back there. Normally the Plumbob would be right there in the picture and it would ruin it for me. So then I would have to try and get it removed from the background or go into the Wicked Whims section in its settings and remove headline effects and stuff like that. I mean, I would have to jump through hoops to try and get rid of the freaking Plumbob. So because I like to take lots of screenshots and things like that and tend to go for more of a realistic approach in my game, having the Plumbob just gone entirely is so helpful. It helps with the immersion of the game. I feel like they're my Barbie dolls. Like, my Barbie dolls don't have no freaking Plumbobs above their heads, okay? They look just like this. Well, they don't kick soccer balls in the house, but you know what I mean. So for me, it just looks more realistic, not having some big giant green diamond or red diamond or orange diamond floating above their heads while I'm playing. So that's why I like that one. The next one will be the Basemental Drugs mod, which honestly, I only use Basemental Drugs because Basemental Alcohol is included in it. I was doing the storyline of Hey Mama, which did have some sort of drug use and things like that in it. But aside from that one particular let's play that I was doing, I literally don't ever involve like drugs or smoking or anything in my game. Like, I've never had a pothead or anything like that in my game. So I strictly use Basemental Drugs myself for the alcohol portion of it, and that's strictly a realism aspect. I love the ability for my Sims to go out and have a drink or two. Speaking of, we'll have them travel right now so you can see exactly what it does. I won't go into detail about the drug part and things like that because it's pretty self-explanatory. Obviously, as they do different drugs and things like that, they get different moodlets, they get different effects, they can overdose. There's all sorts of different things. So we'll have them go here to the juice bar. Okay, so they're here at the juice bar. We'll let them go inside and have a couple drinks so that you can kind of see the effect that they get from the moodlets when they do. So we'll go and we'll have him order drinks for the group. So there's going to be all sorts of drinks in here because I do have like food mods as well, but we're just going to order martinis with olives. So as you can see, here's Nia with her martini with an olive. How cute, fancy. Oh. And so they are both having their drink. By the time they get done with the drink, you'll recognize that they have a moodlet. He has a moodlet for easy sipping. Now that's thirst quenching. It's almost enough to make one giddy. So he's not like drunk from it. Let's see if Nia has a different reaction. Let's see, what else can we order? I need something heavy for him. Get some cognac. Okay, she got some sort of moodlet. Okay. A symbol of a prosperous life from the cocktail, the amazing ratio of the sweetness of vermouth and the salty notes of ripe olive fruit. So she got one as well, but hers was actually different. Oh, and she's tipsy from drinking. Nia is feeling slightly inebriated. So you see, although they both have the exact same drink, they do have different effects. So you get the gist. They can become dazed if they have too many drinks. They can get drunk, and they actually have a walk style that shows that they have had one too many drinks. So yeah, I will not play my game without that one. For the next one, we've got Pose Player, and I also have the Sim Teleporter. The teleporter is what you need in order to designate where you want your sim to be for certain poses. So say for instance, I wanted to put them out here to pose in this area that is literally not even accessible. I could just put this here. I'm gonna do 2 so I can pose the 2 of them together. And then what I'll do is just click on the statue and I'm gonna select teleport a sim here. So we want to teleport Nia. And then I'm going to click on the other statue and we're going to teleport Vance. So now that they're standing inside of each other in this random spot on top of the roof that's not accessible, I am going to click on them and then I am going to select I can do either of these, pose by pack or pose by name. We'll do pose by pack. And then let's see, we'll do Sims in Distress. And let's see, so this one is for the male. He's going to be holding the sim that is passed out. So I'm going to select that one for him. And then I'm going to close out of it. And then I'm going to select Nia. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go in here. I'm going to do pose by pack. I'm going to do Sims in Distress. And then since he was the male in pose 3, she's going to be the female in pose 3. She's going to be held. Okay. And then once I press play, they're going to get into position for that pose. And just like that, this is the pose that they are in for a beautiful screenshot. Well, I don't know about beautiful, but as you can see, Nia is, she had one freaking cocktail and she's passed out apparently, and Vance is holding on to her. And so I would hit my blur and then take my screenshot, turn my blur back off, and there you have it. That's how you use the pose player, by finding your poses and posing your sims in areas that they couldn't normally access. Whenever you're done, they will literally stay in this position until you X out of it or choose a different pose. So that one is a must-have. Again, if you're a storyteller, you like doing machinimas, or even if you just like having really cute thumbnails for your videos or cute pictures for your Tumblr or Twitter, pose player is a must-have along with the teleporter. The next one that I have is going to be a Little Miss Sam mod. Actually, the next several are going to be Little Miss Sam mods. The first one is going to be the Let Friends Age Up mod. This mod, I don't really have a way to show it on here, so I'll just put up a screenshot for this particular one. You can select age up when you click on the cake, and it will allow you to select all of the sims that you want to go ahead and age up. So all of your friends can age up at the exact same time that you do, so that you can all go to high school together or uni together or whatever. So for me, that's a must have, because for storytelling purposes, again, I can't have my sim as a teenager and all of her best friends are still children. The next one for Little Miss Sam is going to be the pregnancy overhaul mods. There's a few of these. So for the pregnancy overhaul mods, I personally use the one that allows for sims to do more in their first and second trimester, the no Walkstyle one, and no huge belly, because I hate the default pregnant belly in Sims 4. So what we'll do, I'm gonna have them travel back home and we're gonna get Nia pregnant. Let's have her go and take a pregnancy test. This kind of goes into another mod that is a must-have for me for realistic gameplay, and that is the PandaSama Childbirth Mod. And if you know, you know. Like, everybody in the community knows all about PandaSama, like GOAT. And so this allows them to have all sorts of really realistic like pregnancy and childbirth animations, moodlets, all of that. And so this is one of them. Normally they would just come in here and pee in the toilet, and if they were pregnant they would just like celebrate or whatever, but this childbirth mod actually makes it so that they pee on a stick, they look at the stick, and have different expressions depending on if they're actually pregnant or not. She's pregnant. Look at her reaction. She's so happy. And this is also perfect because I get to show this particular mod. You see, she is not, well, she's actually a little bit bigger than normal, but normally when they're like first pregnant, they're like super, super big, super round. And so she's preggo and happy. I have the module that makes it so that they have a 40% smaller belly in the first trimester, 35% smaller belly in second, and 25% smaller during the third trimester and during labor. So this is considerably smaller than it would normally be without the mod. So now that we know she's pregnant, where the heck is Vance? Why is Vance he's sitting out here with Garrett. Oh my God, the same one that we jumped. Oh my God. This is gonna get messy because we're gonna go over here and tell him that we pregnant. We are gonna go share our pregnancy news with him under the romance category and let him know that we are expecting a baby. Not her walking around out here with no shoes on. And so she's doing this cute animation where she shows him that she's pregnant and he's so happy, so he hugs her. And then they give each other smooches. Aww. She sees a crazy sim. Who out here crazy? Oh, so happy. We don't want him a part of our conversation. Thank you. And so now that she's done that, they have additional options for things such as going to doctors, for doctor's visits. They can have ultrasounds. They give realistic childbirth, either through home birthings with a midwife that involves them either giving birth in a water pool in the house or on their bed with pillows, or obviously like going to the hospital where they can opt into like a natural birth, or if complications happen, they can also have C-sections. That's a very big mod. I don't have enough time to go like in great detail with it. There's so many aspects with breastfeeding, bottle feeding, going to Lamaze classes, I mean all sorts of stuff. So we'd be here forever. Throwing baby showers, gender reveal parties, you name it, PandaSama included it in the childbirth mod. So if you want a detailed overview of that, just let me know down in the comments. Otherwise, we'll keep moving. So then we kind of get away from like the absolute quality of life mods that I have and more into like the must-have mods for realistic gameplay. Obviously my number one must-have mod for realistic gameplay is going to be Wicked Whims. I love it. I will not play my game without it. I just won't. And so that includes obviously the ability to have realistic sex options for your sims. They also have the ability to have periods if you're interested in that. I personally don't ever have those enabled because they suck in real life. I don't want them in my game, but others don't mind it. There's also some different nudity settings. They have the ability to sniff panties. There are sex clubs that you can make. I mean, there is anything. They can get woohoo transmitted diseases and different things like that between this and another mod that we're going to cover later. Window peeping, creep sims, lewd dreaming. I mean, it is such a huge mod. You absolutely have to go and read through the information for it. I can literally spend an hour just talking about this mod. It's so good. There's also different pregnancy options, birth control options. You can make it so that there's a certain percentage, or you can do the realistic option where they can get pregnant solely based off of their menstrual cycle. There are so many different options. There's attractiveness settings, personality settings, desire stuff. There's even different attributes that you can give them that makes it so that they're into certain things, which really just goes into it being even more realistic. Like if you want to make, you know, a couple who is okay with one another stepping out and doing things with other sim, and in fact maybe it turns them on, you could have that option here in the game. So it takes the game from being very vanilla to more like, hey, we're like adults here, which I love because like I'm 30 plus, so I don't have time for like, oh my god, ooh, it's such a kid game. No, like bring on the adult elements. So absolutely love Wicked Whims. I am 100% going to do a more formal deep dive of that mod in another video. But for now, we're going to go on to the next one, which is going to be the Deep Indigo mods. Oh my God. Can I just like disclaimer? I have pretty much every single thing from a Deep Indigo. So like this is going to be a quick run through for these mods, for the ones that like I absolutely have to have in my game. The first one is going to be the Healthy Living mod, which is actually a newer one that just came out not too long ago. And this particular one makes it so that there is a health club, and you can have a membership that makes it so that you can go to different fitness programs and classes. You actually have to pay to go to the gym and spa. You can get a health club and spa membership. There's a health club store. There are a lot of options for it. They have like a little Fitbit. I'll just click it. So you can see all of these different options here. Obviously she can't just go to the gym for like a rabbit hole right now because it's not open. But there's some additional options here. If we go to the Simwall Health Club store, we can buy different things like protein milkshakes, weight loss supplements. We could buy home gym equipment, footballs, all sorts of stuff. And if you have custom content, like I have the FlowFit CC pack, so some of those options are available in here as well, which is really, really cool. I love when creators will work together to make things available. A Lamaze table, that would be for the PandaSama Childbirth mod. There's all sorts of things that can be bought in here. I love this mod because it brings about like a healthier aspect for my Sims, because normally my Sims might go to the gym like once or twice. They're not really big on working out, but with this particular mod, it might make it so that they're more likely to go and work out, because I feel like I'm actually working towards something. I just bought them both a SimFit watch, so I'm gonna allow them to put them on. You can see Nia just put hers on. She's like, you know, I'm pregnant now. I kind of want to keep up with my health while I'm pregnant. I put Vance on one as well. So while she has it on, we have some additional options. She can check her metabolism, she can check her muscle mass, her weight, or she could take it off if, say for instance, it doesn't go with like her outfit that she has or whatever. So love that one. Again, it's a really, really big one as well. I can't go over everything in it, but definitely go check it out. The link's in the description. The next one is going to be the Healthcare Redux mod by A Deep Indigo. I love this mod because it brings about so many complications in my game. I swear to you, every time I play, somebody's got a new illness or something. But honestly, I love that because it's realistic. I feel like without the Healthcare Redux mod, like my Sims never got sick or had any actual inconveniences whatsoever. The game was just too easy almost. Like there was never a struggle. There was never any like random autonomous crazy things happening. So I love the fact that Healthcare Redux has the ability for them to get sick, have really, really intense illnesses, questionable illnesses, you name it. So Healthcare Redux is really, really good for the realism aspect. And you have the option to send your Sims to the doctor. They can go to an acupuncturist, go to the hospital. They can get vaccinated, get allergy shots, donate blood. I've actually never had my Sims donate blood before. It could be used to save lives and treat life-threatening disorders. That is cool. You can also order from an online pharmacy or go to the pharmacy, which is good because there are different things like adult vitamins, aspirin, Pepto-Bismol, children's cough medicine, paracetamol. I mean, there's all sorts of stuff. This health tonic does not work though, so it's useless. Hydrocortisone cream for eczema in my O'Brien's Legacy LP. On the channel, one of my quads was just diagnosed with eczema, so something like this would be nice for her. Ibuprofen, iron supplements. One of my other quads was actually anemic, so an iron supplement would be nice for him. There are some prenatal vitamins, so we're gonna get some prenatal vitamins since she's pregnant, and we're gonna have her go ahead and take a vitamin. So this is a great example of like the mod working well with the game, because now that she's pregnant and we're using like the PandaSama mod for the childbirth and pregnancy, we can still use the Healthcare Redux as well to do things like give her medicine and stuff like that. I don't think she actually took it though, because she's too busy talking like, hello, ma'am. Or maybe she did. Okay, she did. So I thought she was supposed to get a moodlet for it. Oh, they're happy parents and happy that they have a child on the way. Oh, there it is. Early parenting win from prenatal vitamin. Nia feels good knowing that she is taking care of baby before it's even born. So you see, even though all she did was take a prenatal vitamin, she got an extra happy moodlet as a result. So I love that. Healthcare Redux is so good if you don't mind dealing with your Sims kind of getting sick and different things like that. There are also a lot of different like options for it that you can use if it's a little too much. Like you can make it so that there are no like deadly illnesses where they die and different things like that. They get injuries and stuff as well, like mild and serious injuries. They can have medical emergencies like car accidents and plane crashes, which thank goodness have never happened to my Sims. Kidney failure, which did happen to one of my Sims in my other LP, I'm Not My Parents challenge. Yeah, Clover was diagnosed with kidney failure and it was crazy. They can even have heart attacks, so like it's so good. I also have a Deep Indigo's custom Nuptials mod, and that mod just gives some additional options for Sims who are like engaged or getting ready to be married. And there's a whole little section for it here. If you click on another Sim, under custom nuptials, there are all these different options. They can discuss having children, talk about flower arrangements, discuss finances, event budget for the wedding, all sorts of different things that just kind of give you some more pie menu options instead of just always clicking on friendly and chatting, because that's so redundant. This gives you the sense of the game not being so boring, and you can talk about so many other things. Like, let's sit here, we're going to talk about religion. We're about to have a whole baby. I think religion's important, you know? It doesn't look like they got a particular moodlet from that, but I just love the fact that it gives some additional options. They can also elope or pay venue fees if they already had like a place in mind for their wedding. There's some other options for custom nuptials under the phone setting as well. So they can buy flowers. So say if Vance wanted to buy some flowers for her, maybe to surprise her when she gets home from work or something like that, or she's not feeling good, they can book a honeymoon and pay for that. Super realistic. They can browse honeymoon getaways, purchase their wedding cake, browse event planning forums. There's just so many additional like options here that make having a wedding much less boring and redundant in the game, which I'm always for. The next Deep Indigo mod is going to be Dynamic Teen Life. I don't have a teen right now, so I can't really like show what all happens with that one. But Dynamic Teen Life is literally all about having your teens be more dynamic. They have more after school activities. They can go through mood swings and have issues with their mental health. They have the option for additional journal entries. I love the additional after school activities the most because I feel like high school is so boring for teens, and I love the thought of having more things for them to be able to do. There's also a popularity system with it as well, so they can be popular or not be popular. There's social groups. They can start gossips and rumors. I mean, there's all sorts of options. The next one is going to be Delinquent Teens, which actually kind of goes hand in hand with that one. The Delinquent Teens one makes it so that your Sims can literally be delinquents. They actually have the ability to rebel and get caught rebelling. If they are delinquent and doing bad things, they actually have consequences and can be punished. So that's really fun. And they also have the added option of like running away to a rabbit hole, and the parents actually get a negative moodlet as a result of their teen running away from home. So that's really fun. Again, I think it just adds to the realism and makes it so that the teens are less boring, which is always good. Not them getting jiggy on the counter. Oh, they're just kissing. How cute. Oh, I'm annoyed that they're through the window, but I love that animation. How cute. Oh. So yeah, That was Delinquent Teens. Education Overhaul is another really, really good one. And that one just makes it so that there's an actual education career in the game. Your babies can go to preschool. And there's some different education enrollment options. So you can actually like apply for schools and stuff, have private exams and things like that for the schools. There's a virtual school option, a boarding school option. There's all sorts of things. There's some different options instead of just the typical, oh, do your homework. Like they can actually write papers and critique art and submit compositions and stuff and solve equations. Like there's just so many options. Oh, they finally moved into the right place. See, everybody says that Wicked Whims is just too much, but they don't recognize that there's just so many cute parts of it too. Like, hello? Love. Oh. But yeah, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, the education overhaul. Again, it's just all for realism with them being able to randomly get assignments and projects. Like in my Growing Together LP, they literally have been sending my kids home with school projects to complete, which I love because it's better than just doing the traditional sit down at a table and fill out your homework on that ugly sheet of paper. So again, it's just for expanding the realism in the game. And then there's the eye care and dental care mods for Deep Indigo. They are similar to Healthcare Redux in that they add the ability to go see an optometrist and go to a dentist. Your Sims will randomly have mouth aches and mouth pains, cracked veneers and different things like that. Randomly you might get a moodlet that says that your sim might need to go and get their eyes checked, and they can come back saying that they need prescription glasses and things like that. So again, it just kind of goes back into the realism of everything. So I do love those two as well. And then there's the SimNation Travel mod, which I kind of got recently, and I'm still kind of dealing with it. But the SimNation Travel mod makes it so that they actually have passports and things like that in order to travel to certain worlds in the game. They also have a driver's license and a subway pass. Like literally, this stuff gets generated anytime you start a new save file or load into your save file and play for a little while. Without having these items in your Sims inventory generated, they literally cannot travel. And these items, obviously they cost, and once they're in your inventory, you can't get rid of them. But it's nice because I think it's realistic. Like you shouldn't be able to just travel all the way to Silver Dorada, you know? So you have to have a passport in order to go. You also have to pay to travel. So like if you are trying to book your honeymoon and like you need to fly on a plane or something, you're going to be charged for that, which I love because that's realistic to me. The subway pass doesn't last forever. It's supposed to be like a 28-day pass or something like that. You can also click on it to travel to certain areas. Like if we want her to go to a restaurant or something like that. When she traveled to this restaurant, she actually lost some of her luggage. So she got a moodlet from it that says stray baggage. Nia can't believe her luggage was lost. Not really a great start to the trip. Hopefully they can find it and send it back. So she got a moodlet from traveling. She also has another one from Overwhelming Excitement. Traveling to a place abroad for the first time can be overwhelming and exciting all at the same time. So again, this just makes it so that she kind of can get some additional moodlets, and I don't know, it just makes it more realistic for storytelling purposes. Like now if I wanted to get rid of all of her other moodlets, she would just be tense from losing her luggage, and I would be able to tell that story. As you can see, she's still in her first trimester from that one mod, so she's still not super big, but she is indeed preggo. This mod also allows you to do lessons for like your teen sims in order to teach them how to drive. There's some reward traits and an aspiration and even a career with this particular mod. So there's a lot of stuff, like a lot. You can book your travel reservations to travel internationally, which we will dive into in the next episode of Growing Together with the O'Briens, and I'm so excited. She literally came up here to brush her teeth. Girl, stop it. The next one is going to be the introduction into the Lumpinu mods. The first one for Lumpinu, which I have a few of theirs, is actually going to be the First Impressions mod. And I use the 3-day time decay version of this particular mod because I don't think it's very realistic to have people's first impressions last forever, because your first impression is just that. It's how you felt about somebody at first, but maybe you don't see them again for another month, and so now you get another impression of them. So I like the thought of having them decay after a certain period of time. So I do have the 3-day variation of this mod. It just makes it so that they get some different sentiments and things like that when they first meet Sims. It looks into their actual like personality and cash traits, and it allows them to have certain first impressions based off of their traits and how well the Sims mesh together. So it's one of those mods that's really just for the realism aspect and to make it so that all of my Sims don't have the same like first impressions. The next mod for Lumpinu is going to be the Milestones Expanded mod. This one actually adds over 50 custom milestones and moodlets that literally vary depending on if it's the first time or not for something happening, and like different social bunny posts. There's a alien here. Oh my god. So I like this particular mod because I feel like the game itself does not have enough milestones. So having some additional milestones added to me, again, adds to the realism. So it adds different milestones, such as like if you have a Sim that comes out to their parents or friends, if they are surrogates and they carry a baby for someone else, there's a milestone for that. If your child gets taken away from social service, there is a mod for that. Death of different people, like a parent, child, best friend, sibling, whatever, there are milestones for that. If they befriend a dolphin in Sulani, there's a milestone for that, etc. There's so many. There's a link. You can go check out all of them that are there. The big Lumpinu mod, you all already know what I'm about to say, is the Relationship and Pregnancy Overhaul mod, or RPO. I love RPO. I will not play my game without it. I don't care if it makes my pie menu lag when I click on Sims. I do not care. That mod will never come out of my game. So me personally, for RPO, I use modules 1 through 7. Oh no, not this lady dying of laughter while I'm recording. Ma'am, please. She's a freaking young adult who just died of laughter. You have got to be joking. Oh my, this Sim is dead. Someone needs to call the emergency services right now. Sigh, I'll do it myself. Okay, I'm going to pause this for a minute while I finish talking about RPO, because this is going to go into another mod that I'm going to talk about in a minute. So RPO literally has so many different cheats and things like that for you to access. So basically everything about RPO deals with relationships, family, and pregnancy. There's a whole pie menu option for it. There's different attributes and actions. There's things under the woohoo status. You can go and get tested for WTDs. You can buy woohoo protection items. You can get HIV preventive medicine. You can check your Sim's woohoo status. You can give them, so say for instance you want to tell a certain storyline, you can give them particular WTDs to tell that story. So there are a lot of different cheats and options in this mod. I can spend a whole like hour and a half talking about just this mod, but I will not. There's different jealousy and infidelity options. You can make it so that your Sim is always faithful, or set a certain jealousy setting for them. For pregnancy and family, they can go to birth classes. She can go and buy something for the baby. We can take her so that she can discover how many children she's having as well as their gender. So see, because I have PandaSama Childbirth Mod, I would go the route of actually going to an ultrasound appointment because I love all the realism that comes with it. But if I just had RPO, I still have the option of doing something similar to an ultrasound. It would just be a rabbit hole. We can make all sorts of things here, such as maybe we don't want her to be okay with being pregnant, so we could select this, and then if she were to get pregnant, she would have certain moodlets dependent upon the fact that she's pregnant. So she would be tense or angry or sad about the fact that she's pregnant because she's not okay with being pregnant. Or we can make so that she is okay with being pregnant so that she's actually happy when she gets pregnant. There are also options for surrogacy with this mod, cheating, romances and friendships. We can make her celibate if she wants to be. We can change different turn-ons and turn-offs. We can make it so that she doesn't become friends with certain Sims or doesn't develop romantic feelings with certain Sims. She can write and send customized letters. There's a meet and mingle app for single Sims or Sims who aren't single, who just want to call some drama. There's a meet and mingle app for that. She can check her private messages, browse profiles. She can go on blind dates. All of this is with this one mod, y'all. It's with this one mod. It is literally like a one-stop shop for everything that involves relationships, jealousy, and pregnancy. Like, if you are running a computer that is not like the world's best, but you want a whole bunch of mods that all deal with relationship and pregnancies and stuff like that, this one mod has everything you could possibly want. I promise you. Like, I cannot rave about it enough. I'm gonna leave it there with like all the different things that you can do with RPO, because it really is one of those where you would just need to go and play around with it yourself or read up all of the different information. I think the most important part is like the fact that I don't have every single module, but I do have the majority. So there's only like 3 modules that I don't have. And I do also have Lumpanu's Talents and Weaknesses mod. And that one is just because I like the thought of making it so that my Sims are naturally good at certain things, but naturally bad at certain things too. And you have full control over that. You can choose what talents you want them to have. You can choose what weaknesses you want them to have. You can make it so that they don't even gain skills for certain things. So again, full control, full ability to craft whatever story it is that you want to make for your Sim while making your game as realistic as possible. So hats off to Lumpanu and A Deep Indigo and PandaSama, because they are like the goats carrying the game. Since the Sim is dying, we'll go ahead and talk about this next one, which is Sim Realist Mortem. This particular mod gives you all sorts of options when Sims are dying, basically. So it makes it so that you can report a death with a phone call and actually have someone come out to acknowledge the fact that the Sim is dying or dead already. They also have the ability to attend full-fledged funerals with the Mortem mod. I experienced this in my Hey Mama LP. My daughter's dad actually died from being embarrassed, and we had a full-fledged funeral in the last episode, and you can actually customize their tombstones and urns with this particular mod. You can choose who is the person who takes over the estate with this particular mod. If nobody else had made a phone call now about this Sim dying, there's an option to report a death. I'm not going to press that though, because I learned the hard way that if you press that and the person comes to examine the body and like confirm that they're dead or whatever, then it makes my person the executor of this person's estate, and then she'll just continue being sad that they died like she actually knew them. She doesn't know them. So I'm not doing anything about that. But you do have the option of being an executor of the person's funeral if it's like a family member or close friend that dies. You do also have the option of going on bereavement. So like, say for instance, it's like if freaking Vance is the one that died and now all of a sudden she's so sad and distraught she can't go to work or anything like that, there's an option for bereavement leave with this mod. People can actually come for condolence visits in about a day after the person dies. Any acquaintances or friends would come over to the house and bring food and things like that. It's kind of like the welcome wagon, but obviously they're there because somebody just died. And then you can, there's just a lot. You can either choose to do cremation or you can do the full-fledged burial and funeral service and things like that. There's an option to have an actual funeral home placed down in the game. There are some lots on the actual gallery that you can place, so you don't have to build it yourself. There's a lot. It's a very, very big mod, but again, I like the realism aspect of it because I don't want the Grim Reaper to just appear out of nowhere with his scythe and just like swing it and now the person's just like gone. Like, I like for storytelling purposes to do the whole let's go to the funeral home or have them cremated and have their urn in the house or whatever. So now that we witnessed this lady dying, I'm not going to stick around to witness the medical examiner come for their body and things like that because it's obviously taking a while. And we're just going to go ahead and move on now to my graphic mods that I absolutely cannot live without. So the graphic mods that like I absolutely will not play without. The first one is the terrain mod replacement by Hippie. And I also have their replacement for flooring and for walls. And you can see, even if I just like show right here, like look at all the detail. Like you can see the specks in the freaking concrete. Like the foundation, look at how perfect that is. Look at those stones. This is for all of the flooring, all of the wallpaper. Like look at the detail on that wallpaper. Look at the detail on the windows. Like the flooring inside of here, look at the detail in the floors. Look at that detail. It literally looks like old hardwood flooring. Like I love it. This mod is just so good. It's lit, and I don't even know if it's considered a mod. It's literally just a replacement. It's like an override, but you can see, like, look at how much more detailed all this stuff is. I need to go to an area that has grass, because when I tell you I saw the grass and I was like, what? Like, look at this. Look at how much more realistic that looks. Like, insane. So yeah, I have all of the replacements by Hippie, because look at that grass. That is not custom terrain paint or grass paint. That is literally the grass texture that is just here in the world with the game. It's just been replaced with Hippie's replacement. Look at it. Just beautiful. So yeah, I can't rave enough about that. So I'm just gonna select the option for her to travel so you can see the map replacements. So yeah, you can see with this map replacement, Willow Creek looks so much more lively and vibrant and green and beautiful. And I have all of the map replacements for each world. This is the one for Oasis Springs, Newcrest. Again, this is just for like a realism aspect. It's just prettier, because without the map replacements, the worlds just look so like old and dingy and gray and ugly and boring, and like, I don't know, I could go on forever with how horrible they look. Look at that. I mean, the water is just beautiful. The trees in the background is just beautiful. Oh, and like San Sequoia, I have the one that has the red bridge. Gorgeous, right? So yeah, this one to me is just like a must have, because I just like how pretty it makes the worlds look. Honestly, there's literally no, it's just pleasing to the eye. There's no other reason at all. And then obviously I use Reshade, which is not technically a mod, but I think it's worth mentioning that if we're speaking about graphics, Reshade is definitely a must have. I played for the longest time without Reshade, and then I started getting upset because everybody else's games were just so bright and pretty, and mine was just so like gray brown and like dingy, grungy looking almost. And so I tried it and I was like, I'm never going back to playing without Reshade. I mean, the blur effect, look at that difference it makes for a screenshot. Like, just impeccable. And then also, if you actually, this is what my game looks like without Reshade. Like, there's no way. I don't understand how I played for as long as I did without freaking Reshade. Like, what is this garbage? I can't even tell what color things are. Like, this is really how I was playing the game? I can't tell what's pink, what's yellow, what's green, what's blue. Like, absolutely not. Yeah. No Reshade with Reshade. Like, even the specks of sweat on her face are so much more in depth. No Reshade with Reshade. Like, I will never go back to not using Reshade. So it's a must have for sure. There were some other mods that I wanted to talk about in this particular video, but I got hung up with the really in-depth mods that like I must have. So if you guys are interested in maybe seeing one that details strictly fitness mods, because I have a lot of those, Utopia's mods, because I absolutely adore her stuff, and cast mods, and definitely food mods. Let me know. If there's anything else or a particular mod that you're interested in seeing, you can totally let me know about that as well, and I will do my best to accommodate your request. It's called the Dance Override 2.0 mod. I like this mod because it adds more realistic dance moves into the game. Again, I like my game to be all about realism. I don't want my Sims in here doing cowpoke dances all the time. I like the original, like, realistic dances that, like, I would see actual people doing in the club. Granted, some of these not so much, but they are more realistic than the cowpoke. Like, I mean, they'll come in here and do the MC Hammer dances and all sorts of stuff. Aside from that, I hope you enjoyed this particular video going over some of my absolute must-have mods for Sims 4. And until next time, positive vibes and French fries. Bye!